This is essentially what's actually the KGM.
What's happening for us? Probably people a bit more. Kick off this because she's the chair.
Right, okay, so we've got Alice as a point, apologies. No.
Be mindful about the
Good evening and welcome to the Reds Committee for Tuesday the 26th of May, North Town Council. Again, apologies.
We've received apologies from Councillor Alice Mark.
Declarations of interest. Received any declaration of interest from members of the Labour S106 for the local government finance act. It applies there. Any declarations of interest? No. To approve record the minutes of the meeting on the 24th of March. Move the minutes for. Thank you. Public forum, we don't have public forum, and we've got no private action topic. No. Yeah. All in favour? Yeah. All in favour? Thank you. Thank you, Councillor. We've considered candidates for co-option on the US Committee for 26-27. Have we any nominations? Does David Bradley want to be on? Yeah, I know you like to be on it. David Bradley. Darth Vader. David Whitfield, right? David Whitfield. We don't. Absolutely.
So it was on last year.
Well, it was David, and
It was David, for we also back on the yeah, so Nick was caught from last year for Darwin, they've been on this year, but I don't think we're leading. We've done it now,
we'll leave that until, yes, I was just going to say, leave the debates or defer until such time. Yeah. If someone else comes forward and makes an interest. Is that all agree with everybody? Thank you. Receive an update on feedback of the Easter in Colma, which was held on Saturday 4th of April.
So we've got the event after video, which will show up and then just run through a couple of points. None of the officers or the event casual when they received any negative feedback. It was quite well received. Obviously, it was a very windy weekend, so a couple of last minute changes to the event to make sure it could go ahead safely. Other than that, it was a successful day. And like I say, as far as I'm aware, everyone was happy. Not anyone got any comments, concerns.
I believe there was why, rather than the very beginning, the two gazebos not supplied by the council. One apparently collapsed as it was, it turned out, I believe it was what the cheap factories in Chinatown knocked off. And it wasn't up to be looked at. And the other one, it wasn't written down. So minor issues. But could I suggest or propose that in future, before the start of an event, a risk assessment be carried out to ensure that all gazebos are securely anchored in accordance with the climatic conditions at the time or anticipated. This could, because if there is a problem in future, we could end up with a bit of a.
So one of the requirements we've got is before, during, and after the event, we've got to fill a form in. We've got to send copies to handle, and one of them is all temporary structures sufficiently weighted, broke anchored. So before the event started, we went through it, and it had weights on. Before we got round to doing the during, which is normally about 2, 3 o'clock, that's when the incident happened. And what had actually happened is the gazebo with no weights on had lent the weights to the friend further up. Stupidly. So that is actually something we do. We'll go through the engineering and we'll go through this checklist, and it's making notes, making sure that everything's how it should be. And like I said, we've got to send you a copy of these all to end up after the event as well. We have sent an email out to traders after the event, basically stating that if you're trading and bringing your own septic, you need to make sure it's sufficient for the event. You can't bring your garden gazebos. You need to make sure it's up to standard for an event, especially in the town centre. We did have a couple of traders then come back to them and say, "Oh, can we hire any yours for the next event?" So, yeah.
So, we just wanted to say that we don't need to do a risk assessment for sort of private belongings. Or if it's already in the system where it's in there, which says you will provide your own, or you provide, we provide your own. No. It's down to them to ensure that they are adequately secure. But if we're doing our due diligence of saying, we're happy you've got 4 kilos or 5 kilos of each leg, whatever it is that's recommended, that are ports, it's down to the actual trade themselves to make sure they've got adequate equipment. So, then that's not to win and say, letting somebody else have legs because they're not using it, watching it go down the road. I think it was covering what you said there.
Traders have their own insurance. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe soon, you've got their own insurance. You do check.
Yeah, so all traders, food vendors, whoever it is, we ask for a copy of their risk assessment and their public liability insurance, which goes in with the event management plan, which we send to ESAG. We, like you said, we do a risk assessment for the event for the whole, but all traders will provide us with their own risk assessment and their own public liability insurance.
Yeah, just one comment, just related to the East one. We did have a busking tent that was in the main road as you went down.
So that,
And then going forward, would it be possible to have it where it's either set back or slightly screwed? The reason being is that when you have a lot of people stopping to watch the band or who were singing, we end up having a complete bottleneck, if you like, at the end.
yeah,
So it's just look forward, take forward going forward.
Just actually slightly side.
Yeah, just so we've got enough space for people to actually do and watch. They can get ready and watch as well.
And as well, I see where you're coming from. For people with dogs, young children, and people in scooters and like cell phone, mobility isn't there 100%. Yeah.
It's like, I mean, if everyone wants to use the store next to it,
Yeah.
they can't hear themselves talking to the store. It's just something to look at.
That's a good point. That, yeah. Any other comments?
Well, it's near next to the bar, you could put the bar in that in a separate little area. Or
previously, live music thing used to be next to the bar, to the side of the road, so you'd have, outside Tesco, you'd have the bar, live music, and then it'd follow on the traders. But we tried to flip it round so that you could create a little bit more room for people to stand and watch and listen to the live music. We won't be able, we couldn't put it on its own because obviously we didn't get power to it. But without a gazebo, especially because of how windy it was, you'll have to be weighted together with straps together. Could have turned in that degree, but then there were barriers after someone was there down there. But it's something to consider, obviously, for the future event, especially in town. So,
Thank you. CC share themselves. Do get fixed debts. Yeah. It's really wrong anyway. Should have leave it. So leave it 1 week ago.
Colin Grand Prix, Tuesday 16th of June 2026.
so it's quickly approaching, I think 4 weeks tomorrow, if I'm right, could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it's 4 weeks tomorrow. So it's obviously early this year because British Cycling have moved the whole series dates forward. But everything's pretty much in place for the event. So security support, traffic management, the road closures. We've got the signed order now. The road cleaning with Federal Council has been arranged. The additional PA system for the race course of areas. How it works, the commentator. Everything's been done. One change we have made this year is previously we used to sub out the the programme, which we brought in house now, obviously trying to take costs where we can. Which that's 1 page away from being done, so hopefully come the end of the week it'll be off the print, ready for obviously the race night. We have had confirmation this year that Radio Lancashire will be broadcasting live from Grand Prix itself. We're doing a couple of bits in the build up to Grand Prix. They did an interview last week, one organised from CDPP, and there's a couple of interviews scheduled in between now and the race night. Like I said, they're broadcasting live on the night itself, which we've not had in a few years. In terms of sponsorship, Fort Vale Engineering are the elite race sponsors for men and women's races. Fort Vale Nuclear have agreed to be the sport race sponsor. And then Brighton Construction have agreed to be the race sponsor. McAdams are our barrier sponsors, so they're helping with the cost of the barriers. And then Hope Technology are the first aid sponsor for the event. On top of our big main sponsors, we have got 29 local barrier sponsors, so they get an advert in the programme. banner on the railings, which will be quite the delivered because all the artwork's been done. Which should be good to showcase some of our local businesses. That's pretty much it for the Grand Prix. Anyone have any questions?
Yeah, I've got one. Our local sponsors, how much do, I know you can't give me exact figures, but in a ballpark, what would they normally pay for, this, that bag on the,
So, for new local sponsors, it's £100. That's the banner to be designed, printed, and your advert to be designed and what's put in the programme. However, we do a package where you can sponsor the Grand Prix, the Gala, and the Family Fun Day. So you get an advert in the programme and then a banner displayed at each event, and that's £150 plus VAT. So they get quite a big discount on that. However, the companies that sponsored last year, we offered them a reduced rate because most kept the artwork they'd already done and kept the banner and done the car, which obviously was the reduced rate. But it ranges between £10 to go for £100 for one event or £100 to go for all three.
that's what that.
There's no CC told you when they're going to do that.
So Market Street's clean on week 21st of June and then Credit Road week after.
That's
I've had a meeting with Simon Butler, so we're going to keep an eye on the dates and then we're going to have a site visit once Credit Road went to done, so back in the week of the 7th of June. But they're also going to provide us with a couple of bags of pothole filler, which they do every year. So that our landscape can go out and do any defects that don't fit criteria, which they've not the past couple of years. So we're watching and waiting.
personally, I prefer that they would have got that road on before.
yeah, it's leaving a bit near the knuckle.
It was mentioned, but then the counter argument was, well, if it's just been done, they should make it.
Like our word shouldn't.
Yes. No idea. It's the news thing that they're doing with more people, which, from what I've heard, is meant to be quite good. But all the time can tell. But they're not just doing the odd hole, they're doing more of a section, which is supposed to help, but who knows?
That's a Thomas.
Hopefully they make a better job than we've done on the M65. Because as you come down on Birmingham, if you're driving east, then that's the east coast. All the little, it's like, so they're not dangerous, but on the bike.
The can be, yeah. Especially the speeds that our cyclists will be riding on the night there.
But we won't.
That's what that.
What's that event for council? Meeting.
The news will be happening.
That's, yeah, that's, it was actually mentioned last week.
Second, right?
Yeah, it's a Catholic, if you actually, remember at the end of last meeting, when, the chair, announced you will be, chairing the next meeting. Yeah, that's first one. Yeah, absolutely, you will be in the secretary, it's the week after the year, right there. Anything else on Congrafting? Next week, next item, Congar. The 20th of June.
So, same week as the Grand Prix, which I'm sure will be fun. We've got the Congala, So everything's arranged for the gala. So up the stage, waste management, stage hire, toilet hire, traffic management, road closure, the temporary events and officers and all security and car park shoots have been booked. We've got a variety of different entertainment taking place with some new entertainment as well. So we've got face painting, crazy golf, climb walk, rodeo banana. We've got a leap of faith, circus workshops and shows, punch and judy shows, balloon modelling, wrestling shows, and drumming workshops. And then on the stage, we've got a variety of live music throughout the day. Before our finale on the stage, we've got K-pop Demon Punch tribute. In the arena, we'll also have dance performances from local dance schools and our BMX stunt show, which, like I say, it's all booked and arranged, and we're just working on the logistics now. The videographer's booked to capture the event again. In terms of its income, we've got McAdams as the arena sponsor, and Westside and Honda are the big sponsor of the event as well, which is always good. In terms of local band sponsors for the gala, we've got 30. So they'll have a banner around the arena, and then McAdams as the arena sponsor have got the rest of the arena as well. Should be good. A couple of things we have changed from last year is we've got car park stewards in, so the one at the entrance, Hall House, one further up, and then one where the overflow car park is, well, permitting obviously. So the car park itself will be used for drop-off point of daily parking, and everyone else is parking up there will be direct to the field down football club, which the steward will control. The floor getting picked down to the one-way track. So that's all been arranged. We will be encouraging people to leave the car on the walk and find football service and we'll also put no parking cones from the roundabout further down up to Hop House to try and stop people from parking outside the hall there as well. And we should say it's no event parking on the streets. And that's all been arranged. Any other questions?
Just touch there on the, we actually, on our posters, our social media, we're putting timetables where else to be local to get there.
It's on the to-do list to do. However, Kaylee doesn't know the design work days when you finish. So I'm pushing for it to be done, but Christian's not back for a week for the Sunday. She also got the Sunday work to do as well. So it is on the to-do list, and I would hope it will be done.
One last one. Procession.
Yes. Have we got, are we still have it using the matriculal wagons for the parade?
So matriculals have actually pulled out this year, so we are working with a local coach company to put it signed off with their support. The 90% agreed it would have wanted to get it granted, which I've got a meeting tomorrow to discuss. But for the parade, we've got if we've got the same number of floats as this year, they've all been filled. We'll have stilt walkers, marsupials, villains, drummers, various different community groups, dance groups, sport groups, the usual big part of the parade. But like I say, we're just waiting to finalise the details of the haulage company. Sure we've got floats, if not, we've got a full plan.
What's it?
Yeah, so Council of Bucksworth has agreed to help with the setup of the parade on Shore Street. So it's agreed to do it on this side, providing 2 members of staff help down there, which is all been arranged.
But it's important back in. Yeah. Cherries, and then cherry. To be.
And no, we have invited the new mayor of Pendle and the MP as well.
And is it the fire?
Yes, yeah, yes.
It's behind the fire.
Can I
What's going to need to be there to, get them to.
We've talked still walk to the superhero and buildings, stopping Market Square. Just last year, we couldn't get them up to the Garland Field in time, but everyone else we could, no good straight.
Councillor Robinson, are the drumming circle, are your drumming circle taking part this year?
Yeah, it's going to be a close one because some of the members are having to leave hotels and go straight up to the top of the North Yorkshire and put the mental there. But we will be good.
Thank you. Because I did have some good reports of the order and doing second committee. Anything else on the gala? Unfortunately, I'll be on hold with that's what I won't be able to attend the gala this year. I don't want to talk that. I don't want to talk that before. Number 10, Family Fun Day on July the 26th.
Then that's on all this,
Well, you're not going to be able to do it.
Under the 20.
Sunday the 26th.
Well, the Family Fun Day, we moved the date back slightly, too close to the gala, to only 3 weeks, and so it added quite a lot of fresh to the staff team, so we did push it back to the end of July. However, everything's in place and arranged for the event, so the stage been booked, waste management been booked, stage been booked, the portable toilets been booked, and the other licensing and the security been booked. Like face painting, like mobile farm, inflatable hungry hippos, archery, gladiator duel, Punch and Judy, we'll have a smoke breathing dragon, night workshop shows, silver walkers, we'll have live music on the stage, and then we'll also have dance acts in the arena as well. That event will also be bringing the fairground and the giant inflatable like Nova and EFS Global and the Cadams have agreed to sponsor that event, which is good. And then we've got 30 local barrier sponsors for that event. They'll be split around the green. We're doing market stalls, our bar that we do, and all the usual really.
Obviously, we'll be doing our own security checks on all the market stores and all that. I'm minded of Councillor Mann's little mantra, are we making sure that no alcoholic soft drinks are going to be purchased throughout any of the events?
Maybe alcoholic slushes.
Yes.
So the slushes that we sell will be alcoholic in the machine. Obviously, if someone buys a slush and buys a shot of whatever, then it's we won't be advertising vodka slushes or like that. And the slushes will be go through as well.
Councillor Thomas and Councillor Bell.
You might be able that bit, actually, I don't know. It's very bad weather, and it's grounds moving. I don't have to also with, as an entity, not scan.
Yeah, so like we did a couple of years ago, if the ground isn't suitable for the pole element, we will put the fairground on the hard standing.
So we own the park and the damage, we own that.
Yeah, so just as we did last year, it's same fairground operated we've used for that for the past 3 years, so they won't be on there unless it's suitable for them to go on.
Councillor Bell.
I've actually got another one, because that's. Did we not purchase, those?
Well, that's the,
Well, matting what we were calling for the grass. You know, the issue about a couple of years ago.
No, so that was discussed at full council a couple of years ago. And at the time, Mick Spud said, oh no, you don't need them, not fairground brother. They don't. So we never bought any. However, the fairground yards that we use on Monday, most of their are children's roundabouts, so they don't weigh much. The only heavy rides have got this big slide for the fun house, which they have mats for, which is a different from the mats that stay together. I think it's a ton on them.
Because I thought it was, by this council actually says, needs, the track lane placing down before they go on.
But it's a combination for the gala that they've got to mat on. So some of them will bring that, but we never invested in any. But that's why on Monday before the gala, when the fairground arrives, and the front whole house, making sure that no one's on unless they can get on without, unless they've got mats or the ground absolutely solid.
To be able to make sure that we've got that down, which
Yeah,
over here before they strip out, because, sorry, when it's dry, because as soon as you get a deluge,
yeah,
that's where you have problems come off afterwards.
yeah.
That's the first one. The second one was, I think, last year, one of the accidents on stage, that was drinking alcohol. I would prefer that we do not have people on stage with alcohol.
That's possible.
As well as last year.
yeah, that'll be, we'll have the live.
Yeah. If they're off stage, that's fine. It's just, well,
Yeah,
especially on stage or if you want water or that's fine, but not alcoholic beverages. Otherwise, says no.
yeah. I agree with you, thank you. Anybody else? Okay, thank you. Number 11, direct with the District of Blues Festival 2026. To see an update on the progress of the Great District of Blues Festival, which will be held on Thursday, Sunday, 30th of August 2026. This is required.
So
Gee.
the first part of Act 11 is just an update. So we've now got the full main stage line, poster that looks great. Conway's site has done all the programming for the Fringe, so the Fringe venue is in program now. We are hoping to go live on the poster back end of this week, beginning of next week. We're waiting for sign off on Banfield on their logo placement. But pretty much it's picking along nicely in terms of where we're at operationally. So obviously all the first aid, security, the traffic management and all that sort of stuff range. Now started ordering merchandise, so we've got 2026 pin badge, the limited edition 30th anniversary pin badge, small sale of t-shirts and bottle openers and everything else that we do. A lot more merchandise, proper merchandise stalls, probably in the event area as well, so push merchandise sales for the festival. In terms of tickets, I've got ticket updates. So I mean, I'm not trying to catch up with ticket sales. But it's cut over on there, so soon be here. And then second part of Item 11 is at the ESAG meeting, which was held a couple of weeks ago, concerns were raised from highways and licensing and environmental health of the marquee that was erected outside of Bees Knees throughout the festival. So, marquee was erected outside Bees Knees. It came into the road. It came just over the parking bays. Obviously, highways concern was once the road reopens at night, it's in the road, and it's manning it, it's just up in the road late at night. And then obviously other concerns were that the music that played in the marquee was suitable for the festival, and turned into more of a rave rather than the blues festival. So it was discussed at ESAG, and ESAG said they were happy with the marquee going up, which licensing and Pendle sent them an email that said it has been discussed, and due to these concerns, what this year, Bees Knees then came back and said, well, what about if put it up and take it down each day, they'll be down before midnight each night and build before the event starts. They said they will make sure the music is played. They said that they'll make sure it's got its own security, it's sufficiently weighted, etc. But then it's basically come down to we have a premises license for High Street. We close the road and create an event area, so it's up to us. Wow. Market to go up. A couple of concerns that have been raised is if we let one do it, is it going to start opening the can of worms of other venues want to put marquees up to create bigger outdoor spaces that's well protected? But it's just a decision. Okay. Question.
One question. Councillor Robinson, Councillor Thomas, Councillor.
It could set a dangerous precedent, because if you like, consider what it's how they could say, well, we want a gazebo outside. Various other establishments say we want a gazebo outside on the same conditions. And that's, I don't think, plus also, I don't think it's necessary to have a gazebo outside license like that. So I would say no.
Just to clarify, it's not a gazebo.
It's
Venues,
well,
yeah, venues want to put a gazebo outside.
yeah,
they're probably it's marquees that come within the event area.
yeah, I think it's setting too much attention precedent, so I think no.
Councillor Merrill.
Really exciting. What's your view? So you quite agnostic, are you? Because we need to be really guided by you, because you know all the risk assessments and all that.
To be completely honest, I'm a bit think
Look at the smaller one, narrower one.
think probably they bought this one. They bought this one and it's 12 meters by 6 meters. It was suggested about them maybe putting something smaller within their pavement licensed area, but they didn't want to do that because obviously for them as a business they want to make money as kind of the festival weekend, which is why I understand why they want to put marquee up. But I think it's going to be done properly. This is the music needs to fit with the festival, which the owner of Bees Knees Group did feel like he apologised for the issue last year. He wasn't here. It was the manager who allowed for certain music and issues to happen, whereas he said he's here this year and he'll make sure that it's done correctly.
Were there any antisocial behaviour or issues?
They were, yeah.
When I walked up and I was going over, it's too slow on his phone. Do you walk right? You know, his hand should be out. Yeah. Or, you know, it just, it's strange. I don't know what past it and do it. It's not, it's a bit anti-web blues. I don't think that's a bit for the town. Just.
My two, you actually see both sides. One, it gives a safe area that's separate from the main roads. It means that people can be seated. It's like actually within that big way, helps them sit in some shade. That's the positive side of it. The negative side of it is if they're going to have it stripped down before the road closure is opened, that doesn't give a lot of time to get everybody out to the big lights. I think at 2 o'clock. Road closure.
The road closure is 3 AM, but the market will have to put 10 PM because of his conditions over festival weekend.
So at 10 o'clock, have it closed and stripped down at 10.
Yeah, so that's sort of taken down at 10. And they said it would be done down before midnight.
I have doubts that people will get out of the way as well as getting stripped down. Time frame, that's my concern. Because it would have to be done. Because it's a light road until the morning. Until 10 in the morning. So my concern, I have real concerns about it. Only because of the safety issue. Because it's not that somebody decides to walk out of the stairway or whatever. Because they thought it was still open, whatever the reasons. Again, you've got to try traffic on that road.
Might be 10 o'clock to evening.
So the 10 PM cut off for any outdoor music, so our market cut off 10 PM. When I sat down with the owner for these things and discussed it, he said we will make sure it's down by midnight and it's away because highways have categorically said it cannot sail because the road reopens and we can't keep the road closed throughout the full duration of the festival. Obviously, if they were to change the genre of music being played, it may bring a different crowd into that area compared to last year, because last year it was very rowdy up there. It was what a donk and rave music. Whereas if they put an actual band on, actually putting music that's fitting with the festival, it may add to the festival, but like I say, I'm 50-50.
Like I said earlier, I am 50, so I would like to propose that we accept regulations, conditions attached, to also attach that if it is not down by midnight, or if there is any issues, drunkenness, violence, so
You've got to. Councillor, very Thomas. Councillor Howard?
I think the word precedent. What do we do when whatever they call themselves now? What was anybody else says, well, you gave that
have no license. The venue you want to put one out or tubs or any of those. Names. Hold the bars from,
venue upwards.
well, yeah. Downwards. Well, ground road. Not do it because the road closes not to after the ground.
No, they're not closed before. Outside.
It's like outside.
Yeah.
I just think. Yeah, all balance I will be well.
Came to mind myself. I was, even when I finished doing what selling merchandise, I walked down a few times over 2 days, and I was quite shocked to listen to what was on often as music coming out of the market. Yeah, all right, the road closure was in place, and I'm having to walk in the middle of the road anyway. So, and I wanted to work beyond on the pavement. I couldn't have got past the big needs because of the amount of people that were there. Saying that, we do need to encourage our businesses to thrive on events like this. As I said, I'm beside myself. But I will now, we've got a motion on the table, so I'm going to throw it over to the vote. Who is in favour of Andy's proposition that we allow it with conditions as stated? Please show. That's 2-4. Yes. One abstention. And for that has been carried. So please make that stipulation to the management.
Well, as I say, it's not us.
Yeah.
So
It goes up on the Friday night. If it's not done, then it doesn't go up on the Saturday night.
No, it's closed. They don't have that.
And then they are refusing for the following year. Yeah.
Yeah, so when I discussed it, said the conditions we probably would be looking at would be has to be removed each night or each day. Needs to be sufficiently weighted because the market size needs concrete ballast. It needs to not be any bigger than what it was last year. It's got its own security separate to the security inside the venue. And then obviously the music inside the market is fitting festival, which we was happy with. So I'll put a agreement together with those conditions set out for them to sign, and then at least we've got it in writing. Yeah. So any outdoor music finishing at 10 PM. Obviously, if a venue has 5 outdoors and they're open, it's 10 PM inside. But all outdoor music from throughout the town has to be done by 10 PM. So I know the likes of Duke Lancaster, they've got live music on their balcony. It's in High Street, but they'll be done 10 o'clock. See Alan Marquee will be done 10 o'clock. But that's a condition for all license points, probably get that and look out to it. It's a license issue.
So the licensing will be.
There's a license officers will be around here. Item 12, Remembrance Sunday, 8th of November.
So everything's pretty much arranged for Remembrance Sunday, so first aid road closure has been submitted and all traffic management. The brass band and backpack has been booked. We've got ordered the read actually downstairs. And we've already got long post copies booked as well. So we're pretty much just in a position now where we need to work with the parade marshal and the owner of Pendle for the service sheet and we'll be ready to go.
Councillor Howard.
The sheet does need proofreading. It's just like Queen. It's something like that, there was some other.
Minor,
Yeah. But also, when the copies go, now we take them down. We take down the ones that have been up since last year.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's councillor Robinson.
And when we're at it, can we take place?
Yeah, so the flags will be down for it for the week.
Councillor Robinson, are we to be led out by your good selves again this year?
And we've managed to remember the tune this time. Difficult one to actually memorize, but we managed it, so yes, we're on to do that. As long as the parade marshal at the end sets the right pace for us, and we don't end up giving everybody a heart attack.
Well, I will be speaking with the parade marshal to ask him to coordinate with you good selves to set the correct tone of pace.
Chairman, as well, we need, when the parade's coming back up, we need to make sure that
Yes,
somebody says, don't just wander willy-nilly.
thank you for reminding me of that one. Yeah, we do need to have somebody in place at this war memorial to inform the awaiting throng not to just meander off and allow the parade to return in procession once the mayor, the MP, if he turns up, and the dignitaries managed to get himself back into the saluting base. Councillor Mary. Yeah.
Used to come up reverse. Yeah.
And they start and let us through.
He says no.
No, it's a continuation. It used to fall out rainfall that was changed several years ago. That the parade will set off where they stop from. Where they stop, the roads of transportation, and they'll march off back up from the same route, the same order.
The only other alteration that could be made for that is if the dignitaries fell in behind the first set of people walking back,
That's not good.
and that would work because we don't know, we wouldn't have the drummers parts through. So we're keeping with the dignitaries just walking up, and then and the parade forming up and walking back up.
The best thing to do would be to hold everybody where they are. At the end of the ceremony, let's get everybody to remain where they are. While the dignitaries may remain. Then to ask the spectators to create a gap on the road so that the parade can march back on corner route up the road instead of trying to battle through everybody and walking up. They'll be up with them.
I think if we ask the parade marshal to come to one of our meetings and stipulate that.
That's free to earn, not a problem.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Dowd. Any other comments? Okay. Number 13, Prawn Christmas light strip shop, started the 28th of November.
Yeah, before we know it. So everything's pretty much ready for the Christmas lights switch on, so first aid, security, road closure, traffic management, waste management, the every rental, still been booked on the toilets, they've all been arranged. We've got a new super duper stage this year, which is on a big screen above the stage and that coming on Saturday morning. Which means we won't need to close the road to around about 6 PM on a Friday night for Christmas market, which will obviously be beneficial for businesses. And the stage will come on the Saturday morning, like it all unfolds with a big screen above, and there's a camera crew with it, so anything that happens on the stage goes on the screen, so you can sit at the back and still see what's going on. Gavin Young will be returning against Horse main stage, which is always good to work with Gav. We've got a variety of different entertainment taking place. We've got face painting, the reindeers will be back, giant snowboard, rodeo reindeer, snowboard simulator, Punch and Judy, comedy magic, balloon modelling. We've got Buddy the Elf and Walkabout, Arnold House, Frozen, Barnum Brass Band performing, we'll have Christmas craft activities. We'll be doing the Santa's Grotto again, but we're working with Corn Market Hall, so we could put it in the market to centralise the event instead of bringing it down to the town hall. The sleigh's been booked for the parade with chocolate and torch and glow sticks for the parade. We've got a couple of extra metal buckets for the sand and the water. All of the stage has been programmed, so we've got Park Primary School Choir, Pendle Academy Dance, Lord Street Primary School Choir, Stage Door Youth Theatre, a magic show with Taz, dance performances, Gavin Young's going to do a lip sync song for us, which should be good. And then after the parade, and walking the town centre, we'll have Frozen sing along before our headline act and fireworks. The videographer will be back to obviously capture everything after the event. The fairground will be in, we'll have a big Christmas market with food vendors, all the various different stalls throughout the event area, and obviously we'll be doing the town council bar and the wine and the draft and the beer inside and whatever else. For the event, I've got some sponsors, which is always good. So we've got Farmhouse Biscuits, McAdams, and CFB Group. They're agreed to sponsor the event, which is good. But that's pretty much it. Unless anyone has any questions.
So it was
CFB.
That's what I.
You're welcome.
Gavin did a sing along. It's when they were talking about going to the church. Then everybody stood there, waiting for the people from the church to come up, and then you can start with at 7 o'clock. So it'd be good if there was something like this. That'd be before.
So we've got an interval, 5 PM till 6 PM. Parade sets off at 5:30 from the ground. Gets up to St. Mark's around about 5:45. So between 5:40 and 6 PM, that's when Gav will be on. So he's doing 4 people, and he'll do like a short 20-minute section as well. And then at 6 o'clock, we've got the Frozen sing along, which will be good. And then
The words on the screen.
if you want the words on the screen. The whatever on stage will be on the screen anyway.
Well, if it's a single one, so.
It's not a karaoke.
And I can't sing karaoke,
Do you have any idea who the will have on?
It's a secret.
It's a secret.
I know who it is. But
We don't want to give it away just yet.
you five probably won't know who it is.
Water trail, no water.
No. Well, I'll tell you this one.
Well, it's nice. That can go on the Friday. Any other comments? Thank you very much. I'd just like to say thank you to Nathan for providing all the information. Because given that you do a lot of work at providing all the information and the events for people at Cove and surrounding areas. So I think it's about time you got a bit of a thank you from from me. Receive an update from Conbid. Unfortunately, as we can see, Conbid aren't here. Yes, Andy, Councillor there.
Can I recommend that we remove Article 14 going forward? The reason being, if they're not going to be here, probably use an update. Might as well remove it. Do say something. We can bring it in on item 5 and public forum if need be.
Is everyone agreed on that?
Trying.
Not been all last year.
Stuff on about all the things they're going to do and all that. To say, to work those.
All right. Well,
Wait. They said, oh,
well, fair enough.
We don't get that, not all but it is in next week. But I mentioned it to him, so
yeah, so
Yeah,
council.
come on.
Yeah, we would actually like to actually have it here at least, you know, just so that we can know what events they want to put on.
She.
Yeah. Councillor Robinson.
I think that we should be working alongside Conbid at the moment. We've got this weird situation where you've got two totally different organisations holding events and they're the two ain't not talk to each other. And it gets, well, working together, we can do so much more, I think. And I think the problem is, not with us, we're willing to work alongside them, but they seem to have this attitude that they are not only secret organisation that does things on their own, behind closed doors. We need to come together. I know we can't force them, which is a shame, but are they actually funded by the council? Do they actually get any funding off the council?
We provide them through our rates. So when we pay rates, we also pay a time for that.
In that case, if we're giving them money, they're on the decent, they turn up here and sort of earn the money.
We are a member of this.
Right, that case, tell them to turn up and earn the pennies. Simple. If they want money, turn up. If they don't want money, stay over and do their own thing.
It's not, we can't turn around and say we can't pay you because it's part of the business rates.
Councillor Hammond.
No, what I would say is not.
Public consumption. Okay. So I think what you're going to be doing then is going to be right, insisting that they do at least attend at least one meeting so that we know what we're. All right. Thank you. Items for future month's agenda. Anyone got any suggestions? Highlight ones.
I did speak to Greg Marshall about looking at a new standard. Because when you try to put one through with Breakfast Club, which is one of the organisation that keeps it, and the Corrie Committee said, go away, get match funding. So that would be
Standard, right? Okay. Anybody else? I'll have that put on the agenda.
If we put it on for next month, I'll see if we can get all of that, so it's cool.
Okay, yeah,
Because Tory likes to involve it, but it's not very much.
we'll do it for next month, yeah. Thank you. Right, the date of the next regular meeting, it will be Tuesday the 14th of July at 6:30. Okay. And, thank you everyone for coming, and for those who are going on holiday, have a good holiday.